Thanks for the super chat, asshole. I love taking my anger out on haters.
Hey guys!
Hey, Amber.
They saw my tum-tum!
The moon landing didn't happen.
Are you actually gonna wear that?
Okay, fine. You're the queen of lolcows. Well done, you.
Did she spray Pam on the food?
That ass, though. I am the worst YouTuber ever. I don't know if that's the fight that might have caused it, but right after that, we also got into an argument, and that's when she let me open a present, and it turned into opening all those presents.
Hey folks, what's good? I'm Professor Dietz, and today we'll be continuing our history lessons with Destiny. This is the 5th video in my series covering the time in 2023 that Destiny came back to YouTube to share her side of the story of her relationship with Amber. The first 4 videos in this series covered their relationship from the very beginning all the way up to September of 2016. And for those of you who are well versed in the timeline, you know we're reaching the end of this relationship, which means Amber is starting to panic, and there's big drama right around the corner. We left off in the last video with tensions getting high between Amber and Destiny's mom, Amber and Destiny, and Amber and her new job. Oh, and the completely unsurprising announcement that they would be moving out and finding their own place. So in this video, Destiny will take us right up to the end of 2016. It's just before their breakup. But first, just a couple of my usual notes. I did keep most of Destiny's video, but I did cut out some of the dead air and the ums just to speed things up ever so slightly. Also, as I like to do, I'll be finding some footage from Amber's channel that aligns with the topics that Destiny talks about, just in order to jog our memories and, offer a bit of comparison here and there. And since we'll be reaching the end of one of Destiny's videos, we're also going to take a look at the comment section just to see what we see. Because in my opinion, I always think it's very interesting, seeing what viewers have to say. Now, as always, I'll put pretty comprehensive timestamps in the description of this video if you want to skip to any specific parts. And yes, of course, there's going to be a Corgi Cam at the end to cleanse our palates. And this time, Minnie Waffles was behind the camera. Or I guess, technically, the camera was behind her. I don't know. Something. Anyway, let's let Destiny take us through the last few months of her relationship with Amber. I think what I'll do is back it up just a few seconds so we can see exactly where we left off from. Let's see, we'll just go back a tiny bit like that. Look at this little doggo back here. Scene stealer. All right, let's see what we got.
And between my mom being argumentative and Amberlynn being argumentative, it would become a thing.
Ah, yes.
But I want to say like a week or 2 into training at our job. So we weren't like working our actual hours that we would be working. I think we were working like 3 to 11. I think it's like the second week, honestly.
Hang on. Sorry to interrupt so abruptly, but didn't Amber say this was more like 2 months into the job, not a week or 2? Let me see if I can find that clip of her saying that, and I'll put it here. I won't put her entire side of the story, although it would be interesting to see Destiny's side and Amber's side by side. Ooh, say side again. Anyway, that's just my ADHD. So if I found it, here's the time frame that Amber said it was, and after that, I'll let Destiny continue.
We had to train for 8 weeks, and this was around maybe like the 7th week or so.
I think it's like the second week, honestly.
I don't care if you have a bad memory. There is a huge difference between 2 weeks and 2 months. So one of them is very wrong, and I'll let you decide who you think it is.
We were sitting at the kitchen table, getting ready to leave for work, like packing my lunch, whatever, just sitting on the kitchen table talking. And I think I asked Amberlynn how she likes the job so far and how, easy it is and all that. And she starts saying that she likes it, that it is easy, but she wanted to focus more on YouTube. And she was like, if by the time training's over, I decide I don't want to do it, I just won't start the actual job.
That is so wild to not even finish the training part of the job. She technically hasn't even started the actual job. And already she wants to quit. I mean, yes, that absolutely tracks for Amber. I'm not surprised. It's still just wild to hear out loud, Amber, she's just never going to be able to have a regular full-time job. This is it. This is all she's ever really done, except for when she was at the assisted living facility, and even then, it wasn't a full-time job, right? What does Amber think she's going to do if she really loses everything? If she doesn't get her monetization back, or if she does and then loses it again and gets kicked off YouTube forever? What is she going to do? Is she just going to be a lolcow forever on the LCU? She better keep that relationship with Keemstar going, because I don't know what else she's going to be able to do to make money. Well, that's not true. I think there are some other options, but we're not talking about those today. Let's keep going.
And I don't know what came over my mom after this, but my mom came in there and started just saying, you know, like, she said something along the lines of, you don't need to stay at home all day and YouTube. It's not going to be good for you trying to lose weight.
Right.
And I guess Amberlynn got offended about, you know, weight loss and all that. It's a never-ending thing with her.
I mean, yeah, it is never ending, but it is interesting because Destiny's mom really did have a good reason. It was actually Amber's best interest that she had in mind when she said that. It wasn't about, you'll never be able to make it as a YouTuber. It was, you're not going to be able to lose weight doing this. You are going to stay unhealthy if you continue living like this and doing this. And what does Amber do? She gets offended, of course, because she doesn't care about her health.
What foods do you guys want to see me eat?
Is this actually what leads to the K-Cup incident? It might be. Let's see what Destiny says.
That, and Amberlynn started saying that she likes the job, but she likes YouTube better. And then she was debating on stopping. Her and my mom started arguing back and forth, and my mom ended up getting physical with Amberlynn. That's where the K-Cup holder comes back.
So this is the moment that I thought it was. It's really upsetting, honestly, that it got to this point. But if you have someone living under your roof, you're basically caring for them. And they're talking about not staying at the job they just got in order to sit at home and do mukbangs. I'm not saying I condone putting your hands on anybody, because I don't. But what I can understand is how frustrated she must have been. Here you have this woman who is taking care of a full-grown adult, right? Putting a roof over her head and feeding her. And that same person is disrespecting you on a daily basis. And then add to that, this same person says that she's probably going to quit her job so that she can focus on making mukbangs, right? Something that Destiny's mom probably didn't understand at all. And even if she did, probably didn't see a future in it, right? I'm sure she had no idea that there was actual potential in making money in such activities. So then you add yet another layer on top of that with the fact that she was drinking. While I absolutely don't think any of this is okay, I can see how all of it ended in chaos.
I think they're kind of slapping around at each other, and my mom, that K-Cup holder was sitting on the stairs for us to take upstairs or whatever.
I will also say here, just what Destiny just said.
They're kind of slapping around at each other.
At each other. I believe when Amber tells this story, she says that she just sat down and went still and just allowed Destiny's mom to do whatever she wanted to do, and she didn't fight back.
And I remember falling to the ground. I did not touch her. I did not hit her. I did not disrespect her.
Which, according to this version of the story that Destiny is telling, that's not true. That they were both going at each other. And honestly, I believe that more than I believe Amber just sat there and took it.
My mom came back with it and hit her over the head with it. It was very traumatizing for me, honestly. It was. Yeah. I was freaking out.
I believe that too, right? Your girlfriend is having an all-out physical fight with your mother, who you both live with. First of all, whose side do you take? There is no winning for Destiny in this situation. If she takes a side, she's automatically going against one of the people that she loves. Although at this point, I don't know. Is Destiny still in love with Amber? I'm not sure. But either way, they're still together. So if she takes her mom's side, she's going against Amber. And if she takes Amber's side, she's going against her mom. And that is just no place for Destiny to be And on top of all that, she's the one providing them with shelter and food, just a home and warmth. I honestly can't imagine how traumatizing this was for Destiny. I've certainly never been in any kind of situation myself that's like this, but I believe fully 100% that it had a long-lasting effect on her, and maybe still to this day it does. Who knows?
It was really rough for me. We ended up not going to training that day, which was, it was awful. I don't, like that was the first time I ever had a panic attack. And after that, that's when I started like kind of experiencing anxiety. Before that, I had some anxiety here and there, and I'd only really get triggered when like, I don't know, there was fights going on around me, like physical fights. It was never like people arguing, like that kind of got my anxiety going a little bit, but that was the only time I'd ever have anxiety, is when people were physically fighting, like at school and stuff. If someone got in a physical fight, I don't know, I had to walk away or I was going to start freaking out.
And it all started here, and that makes a lot of sense, you know? If you are having panic attacks and anxiety through the rest of your life because of this, damn, and how much do you want to bet Amber didn't think about Destiny at all in that situation, right? It was only about Amber. That's all she ever thinks about. And so while she's sitting there, literally putting her hands on this woman who is providing shelter for her and food and warmth, she is not for one moment thinking about the fact that this is her girlfriend's mother. She's not thinking about how her girlfriend might think about this or how it might affect Destiny. I don't live on her walls, no, but I can guarantee you, in my opinion, that there was no moment in which Amberlynn thought about Destiny whatsoever. All she was thinking about was herself and wanting to continue doing her mukbangs for YouTube. That's it. Period.
Point blank, period.
I had, like I said, my first panic attack, a PTSD flashback. I'm not going to get into my PTSD about all that right now, because that would take too long, and I'll save it for another time. I promise I'll explain that to y'all.
And you know what's interesting here? It's beyond the story, right? Beyond the fact that all of this happened. I think this right here is one of the reasons why I think it's a good thing for Destiny to be able to come on YouTube and get her side of the story out. Because I wonder if anybody even asked her about how all these events ever affected her, right? The yelling, the fights, the spats, whatever you want to call it, how they affected Destiny. I really do hope that in doing this, in the action of coming on YouTube and telling her side of this story, that it is cathartic for her. And maybe it won't ever put an end to her anxiety or her PTSD about it all, but maybe it could help her work through it a little bit more, get her to that next step of healing. So.
But that, like I said, first anxiety attack, and it was scary. I just remember seeing everything happen and then being on the floor and just screaming. Damn. And then I kind of black out, but they said I wouldn't let either of them get near me. I was like under the kitchen table just screaming. And I wasn't letting anyone touch me. I don't know. And when I kind of came to, I was so tired. And like I said, we couldn't go to work that day.
And what's even worse is that not only is Destiny having this panic attack where she's so bad that she's sitting under the kitchen table and screaming and not letting people get close to her, but they just started this job. And it's a really important job for them, especially Destiny, because Destiny knows that she can't count on Amber to bring money in because Amber's already talking about quitting. So she doesn't know whether or not this YouTube thing is actually going to be successful. Destiny has all of that stress on her shoulders. And here they are acting like this, fighting with each other and giving her such bad anxiety that she can't go to her training. That sucks. That really sucks. And look, I am not Destiny's biggest fan. I'm not. But I can see shades of gray. And right here, I feel very bad for her.
So that's when we decided to get an apartment, just for the sake of everyone being under the same roof.
Yeah, and Destiny being able to maintain a relationship with her mother that doesn't involve Amberlynn. Because Amberlynn, even though she today will claim that she had a wonderful relationship with Destiny's mom, we all know that's not true. They had to move out because of it, because of Amber. So if Destiny wanted to maintain any kind of good relationship with her mom, they needed to leave.
We get out of training and we start working 5 to 3:30 in the morning. Oh my God, that was awful. 5 p.m. to 3:30 a.m., that was awful. Amberlynn also started having a lot of anxiety at this point too. I mean,
You know that Amber wants all of the attention on her at all times, right? So if somebody else has something wrong with them, she's just going to say, oh, I have that too. This right here is the root of Amber's anxiety, probably. First, she had OCD because Crystal actually had OCD. And now she's got anxiety because Destiny has anxiety. And it looks like a lot of it stemmed from Amber. Wow, just wow. It's just so classic of Amber claiming that she has exactly what her partner has, because you need to pity her, you need to feel sorry for her, and you need to take care of her. And if you're focused on your own illnesses, no, she won't have it. She has to take up all the space in your brain. She does that by getting sick. And if it's real bad, she goes to the ER.
Like, girl, really?
And come to think of it, if it's even worse, like emergency worse, all of a sudden, she might lose a pet.
Some people can't understand that this is like super heavy and hard for me, and they're never going to be able to understand that. And it's like, you know what? Fine. Like,
I said what I said.
what it is. And then right when we moved into our apartment, that was when all the drama with her ex and the situation that they had started. And I know that she quit filming for a little while there too. And I don't know. I don't want to get into all that. I don't know. I just know what she has told everybody else. So, I mean, I don't know.
Rain and petals these drop.
The person, her ex, the evidence video that they posted, I didn't know that she was messaging them. Plain and simple. I did not know that till she posted that video. So.
Okay, so we're talking about Casey here, and I'm not going to be getting into all of that today. There are plenty of videos that go deep into what happened here, and I want to stick more to what Destiny's talking about, Destiny's side of the story of her relationship with Amberlynn. And yes, Casey's story is an important one. It is a terrible one, but I don't think it's necessarily right for this particular video to kind of do a deep dive into all of that. Let's just leave it at what Destiny is saying here. Destiny wasn't there for that relationship, and I think it's actually a good thing that she's not coming up here and kind of saying that this is true and that is false and believing Amber point blank like she seems to have done in the past for other things. She knows that it's not her story to tell, and I think that is a very smart move on Destiny's part. But what I do want to say here is that since this is the first time I'm really hearing Destiny admitting that she doesn't know what actually happened, what the real story was with Amber and Amber's ex, I wonder if Casey coming online and telling his side of the story with that rebuttal video, I wonder if that's really the first time that Destiny started doubting Amber. Seeing Casey's side of the story from Casey might have, had some kind of effect on Destiny. Like, hang on, has Amber been lying to me this whole time and I've been believing her stories? I don't know. It may not have had anything to do with it, but I do think it's a question that is an interesting one. I wouldn't mind hearing Destiny's answer.
I don't know. I loved the townhouse we were in. It was super cheap, and the landlords were great. They let us have 3 animals. That's what we were worried about, finding somewhere that would let us have 3 animals. I believe with the pet rent, it was only $625, but that wasn't including water or electric.
$625, including the pet rent. Hang on, I just need a second to recover. Man, $625. We need like a moment of silence to remember the times when life was just a little bit more affordable.
And then we had a dumpster for trash. So, but it was a really nice little townhouse. I loved it.
Man, imagine they only let 2 animals. I mean, someone would have had to go. I wonder which one Amber would have picked. By the way, if you haven't seen them, I have 2 very deep dives on 2 of her cats. One on the Gracie to Wasabi timeline, because I found something very interesting about that, kind of hidden in Amber's videos, as well as a pretty comprehensive look at Scarlet the kitten, and basically her entire existence on Amber's channel. Yeah, Amber, she really should not be allowed to have pets. And that is another conversation that I could get into for a very long time. It makes me so angry. So angry.
We didn't have a washer and dryer yet. We were trying to, I think, either save up for one or something. I think my mom was trying to get a new one maybe too, and that we were going to get her old ones. I don't remember. We ended up getting some though. Then we get the big TV for the living room, the 55-inch nice big TV. Amberlynn says literally in this video that she gets it for me. And when we broke up, I wanted to, and when we were moving out of the lease went up in the apartment, and I was moving in with Dana, and she was going to live with Becky, I wanted that TV because she said it was for me. And
I think in that same clip, she makes that first claim where she's going to buy Destiny a car.
I didn't tell you guys about that. I'm gonna get Destiny a car. I'm not saying I'm doing it right this second, but I am gonna get her a car.
And it's definitely, in my opinion, the beginning of the love bombing because, Amber has started to realize that, Destiny isn't as into the relationship as she used to be, and the relationship is in danger of ending. And so, of course, that puts Amber into her cycle of, first, it's the love bombing. I can buy your love, you'll stay with me. And I think that part of the cycle is just beginning. It's the TV, it's saying she's going to buy the car, and then, then Christmas hits, so we all know what happens there. I think that's probably going to be in this video, unless it's in the next one. We'll see. But yeah, love bombing is definitely one of Amber's classic moves when she realizes that her relationships are in danger of ending. Who here remembers the Sega Genesis that Amber got for Crystal? Because that was definitely a last-ditch effort to keep that relationship alive.
I got you the Sega Genesis. What do you think? I was not expecting that. That's the 80. That thing is tiny. Part you can go right in. And it comes with 2 of these. Wireless? I guess so. Yeah, they're wireless. Wow.
So that is what is happening with the TV.
This is the most common thing that people are saying, that I'm trying to validate or keep the love. I bought Destiny and her family lots of gifts because they deserve them.
And of course, she kept it for herself when things didn't go the way she wanted it to. Please, I am not surprised whatsoever.
And she tried to say that it was her TV and that she was keeping it. I was not going to get it. And, I wasn't trying to make a big thing out of it. I didn't really care, but it was the fact that she said it was for me and then turned around and said it wasn't. So I ended up just keeping the TV that we got for our room.
The plan was for Amber to buy this big-ass TV for Destiny, thus buy her love and make Destiny realize that she actually did want to stay with Amber, and then they'd both have the TV and be living together. But no, ultimately that isn't what happens, right? So, well, screw that then, I'm keeping the TV. Please, that's obviously what happened.
So, and I had that TV till last year, man. It finally broke. We're still in September at this point, and this is when Amberlynn leaves her wallet and a scooter in the parking lot of Walmart.
Yep.
It had her ID in it. It had her social security card in it. It had her debit card in it. I was like, you really left that? And someone could have her identity by now. Who knows? Amberlynn started to become really popular at work. She just was. Everyone talked to her. We would all spend way too much time in the bathroom talking because you can't talk sitting in the rooms where we were working, and a lot of times we would just goof off in the bathroom. Everyone would be talking in there, and Amberlynn just started to get really popular.
Well, she got popular because she stayed in the bathroom. So she was always there when anybody went in there, and she could just literally hold court basically and chat with every single person who came through.
You gotta pay the troll toll.
She was basically like a bathroom troll where you had to talk to her if you wanted to pee. So of course she became quote unquote popular because people really didn't have a choice. If you needed to use the bathroom that Amberlynn was in, then you had to go and you had to talk to Amberlynn.
Troll toe. What you say? Troll toe.
The other side of the coin is it wasn't just Amber being lazy and not wanting to work and thus hiding in the bathroom, but it was also she wanted to be friends with all of these people because she wanted people to basically act as spies on Destiny. She managed to do that with Sharla. She's managed to do that with lots of people, actually. As soon as she starts thinking that, her partner is drifting away, she does the love bombing that we just discussed. And also, she gets spies out in the world for herself to check on Destiny and report back. Make sure that Destiny's not hanging out with people that Amber doesn't want her hanging out with or talking to people for too long, whatever. It's to then start monopolizing her time, right? We're going to start talking about the phone calls at lunch, trying to control all of Destiny's movements and all of her time. And then when Amber really starts to think that there is an end in sight and she's not going to be able to save the relationship, you best believe she's on her phone. She is looking for the next girlfriend.
She started doing a lot of her poetry on her vlogs. Then we get into October. Amberlynn starts talking about buying me a new car.
There it is.
I'm excited to do that. And I want to do that because she deserves it. Her little poop noodle is just holding on by a thread. We're still going to get that fixed though, just until, it's time.
Infuriating. And so obvious too. She's so transparent.
I liked my car at the time. I didn't really see a reason to get a new one, but we had talked about it because, it was a little car. It would have been nice to have a bigger car. And a lot of the issues, this is going to sound really bad, a lot of the issues I had with the car was driving Amberlynn everywhere. She was bigger. That car was so small and just, I don't know. When my stepdad looked over my car, he said one of the shock on the side that she sat on was so worn down and I needed a new one, and the one on my side was fine. So he said clearly it's the weight shifting in the car and I had to get new tires, which the tires weren't her fault. I needed new tires anyway. Like all 4 of them were done.
I was telling you guys, I don't know, almost a week ago that Destiny's tires were messed up. So she got all 4 new tires yesterday and we drove in her car and it just feels so different. So we're getting her car fixed because I said before, I was going to buy her a car, but just a couple days ago, Destiny's like, you know what? I don't want a new car yet because she really enjoys this car. This is she calls it her poop noodle. She really loves her car, so I'm just going to help her get it fixed up, and I guess she wants to keep it until it's literally no longer. So
I got new tires, got the shock fixed, and there was a crack in my radiator. I literally went to AutoZone. It was a 2000 Honda Civic. Went to AutoZone, got a new radiator for $50, and my stepdad put it in for me.
Man, that stepdad really helped out with the car a lot. That's real handy to have. Very nice. I mean, the reality of it is, and this isn't coming from a mean place, but the reality is, if you are a heavy person and putting a lot of weight onto a single part of a car, of course it's going to wear down that side of the car, right? It's just the reality of it. I think mostly Amber wanted to buy Destiny a car as part of her love bombing, I want to buy your love plan. But yeah, I'm sure that she also wanted more space if it was such a small car, right? Amber did admit that even the seatbelt wouldn't go around her. She didn't admit it at the time, but she did at a later date. So, I bet it just wasn't that comfortable for her and she wanted something with a bigger seat, bigger seatbelt, etc., etc. And yeah, 2 for 1. Buy the love, get the bigger car for her to be driven around in.
We start showing the stray dog that's in our parking lot a lot. And feeding him just the dog food that we have. Also around this time, we actually, like I said, she becomes popular at work. We go to the truck stop to eat after work, and it's a bunch of people, but Dana is one of those people. because that's when we became friends, was around this time. Like, just friends, nothing more.
Just friends. Just friends.
We were doing, and I think it was something where you wear headphones and you say something and you try to get the person to say what you're saying. Something like that. I don't remember. It was something about, I think lips are red. Something, I don't remember what it was exactly. But I say that to Dana, and Amberlynn gets offended. She goes off right there in front of everybody. Does not care. And it was really embarrassing, and I was like, why are you doing this right now? You know, like, I was not trying. Why would I try to be that way in front of you? Why would I try to be that way at all? Like, I wasn't meaning anything by it. I just had Googled some of the stuff to say, and I was saying on the list. I wasn't specifically saying something to her, and it's a big thing, and it was that, so.
I mean, at this point, just about every story that Destiny is telling is leading us to the end of the relationship, right? There's the love bombing that we were just talking about, and now Dana has entered the picture. And whether or not they actually did anything before Destiny and Amber broke up, it really, whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, I'm not here to condone cheating. I think it's horrible. The point that I want to make here is that the end is in sight, right? Whether or not they had a thing before Destiny broke up with Amber, Dana was still there. Dana was still the reason. Destiny liked Dana, and Amber could see it. Now, that doesn't make Amber's response to this, silly little game they were playing okay. Obviously, it wasn't. It was overly dramatic. It was pure jealousy and very embarrassing. Destiny says it right here. She was embarrassed by Amber. And I'm sorry, but anyone who was embarrassed by their partner, that's not going to go well, and it's not going to bode well for the length of this relationship whatsoever. So we have Amber embarrassing Destiny, Amber fighting with Destiny, Amber love bombing Destiny, Destiny not accepting the car that Amber was trying to buy for her, right? It's all so obvious. So it's just so wild when people, Amber included, just don't see it coming, when it's all right here. It is all in front of you. Oh, and by the way, Amber did tell her version of this exact same story when she was in her Beck era. Let's listen to what she had to say about this exact same event.
You want to know how I knew Destiny had a crush on Dana? It was after work. Me, Destiny, and Dana, we were all friends, but me and Destiny were tapping each other in bed, but she had her eyes on another prize. We were playing the Whisper Challenge at like 1 a.m. after work at this truck stop, okay? Destiny was sitting across from me, but Dana was sitting next to her in the booth, and Destiny's trying to make me say something, and it was like stupid stuff, like, the robot is green. Okay, Dana had the headphones in, and I was letting Destiny do the thing where you like say a sentence. The first sentence that Destiny said to Dana was, "Your hair smells like strawberries." Then it was Dana's turn again, and Destiny said, "I can't wait to wear your skin." I knew right then and there, I said something ain't adding up.
The 20-piece McNugget thing.
Destiny? What is in your hand? A sweet tea. A sweet tea. From where?
The Golden Arches.
Why do you have the Golden Arches in your hand?
Why did you eat 20-piece McNugget?
She came back in a video and said that she had not eaten, or I came back and said she didn't eat a 20-piece nugget. She had me say that. She did eat a 20-piece nugget.
Of course she did. Nobody believed that she didn't eat that. And it was also recently confirmed by Beck as well that Amber was coaching to say things in the videos, right? You needed to present yourselves as the exact person that Amber wanted you to be, whether you were that person or not, whether you were happy in that relationship or not. Whatever it was, you had to be her narrative of who you are. You had to be her character that she was portraying. And that also went for her. Amber didn't like what she was hearing. You had to come in and be her proof.
My mom saw this. My mom could tell you. Just ask her.
Amber just has everyone lie for her because no one else believes her lies anymore. If you can't tell a lie and have anyone believe you, just go to the next person. Have them lie for you. Sure.
She really did. I don't know why she had me say that. This is also around the time she starts to talk about wanting to quit the job because she wants to pursue more YouTube.
Okay, so this is the thing. Destiny wants me to quit my job.
And they were also, like, we started out in this one building for work, and they were building us a new building, like, redoing the inside of one for us to be at, and it was bigger and nicer. And it was getting close to being time to move to the new building, and I don't know, she was really nervous about the new building for some reason, and I was really tired of her complaining about everything with the job, and she was trying to call out a lot.
Yeah, just like what happened with the first job at the assisted living facility. Amber claims that she quit when that wasn't really what happened. Amber was fired because she stopped showing up. So in Amber's head, she quit because she just stopped going, but that's not how you technically end a relationship with a job. You have to actually make it formal. So formally, she was fired because she stopped showing up.
And then this is also around the time things start to get really tense for us. I know at this point, I know I said I was secretly talking to my ex. I was not talking to her at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Amber was going through her phone, right? Destiny had to hand over her phone to Amber whenever Amber wanted. So Destiny had learned to delete entire apps off of her phone. It wasn't just like closing the app, it was deleting the app entirely and then reinstalling it when she got her phone back. We are talking wild levels of control.
Talked to her here and there. I did not talk to her like the whole time we were together. Just when things would get really bad between me and Amberlynn. Amberlynn got super emotional about comments and hate on her YouTube. And I told her not to read it if it was going to bother her or let it get to her. She kept turning the comments off on her videos. And I said, I know it's better said than done to not read it, not let it get to you, but if you wanted this to be your career, you need to find a way to get over it, basically.
I do totally agree. She needs to not see whatever comment she's getting because it actually affects her mood and her ability to create content, whatever you want to call that. But it affects her mood, so she should not be looking, but she can't not look. So she is in this forever cycle of needing to see what people are saying about her, being sad and angry about what people are saying about her, making another video, and starting the cycle over. It is not super easy to totally ignore comments and to not see what's going on, especially if you want to be involved in your own community. You do have to figure out ways that it works for you. All I do is I look at my channel members' comments. I want to make sure that I am interacting with you guys. I want to make sure that I can see what you're saying and have a nice conversation with you. But I just sometimes will ignore the rest because I know that that's where the hate is going to be. Maybe if I know I'm in a place where reading that kind of comment isn't going to do me any good that day, I'm just going to stay far away. And you know what else? I don't go on Reddit. I don't go on the forums. I don't go anywhere where people might be talking about me because I don't need to see it and it's not for me anyway. It's your conversation. The more places there are that people who don't like me have to talk and say their bad things about me that aren't on my videos in my comment section, the better.
And then on Halloween, I was Where's Waldo that year. I have a picture of it, maybe on my Instagram, but I was Where's Waldo. I didn't become good friends with Dana, actually texting or talking to her till November. And I want to say we would text a couple times here and there, and then she kind of just quit talking to me and quit responding to me. But I know towards the end of November...
Wasn't she dating someone else at that point? I think she was. I think Dana started dating somebody that wasn't Destiny. So she kind of stopped communications for a bit. And then when she broke up with that person, that's when she and Destiny kind of went all in, I think.
She showed me a laundromat and I went there with her and her mom and her best friend. Just to see what that laundromat was like. But it was right after that is when we quit talking, really. She ignored me till me and Amberlynn broke up, literally.
And you know what? Good on Dana for doing that because don't get involved with someone who's in a relationship, you know? Sure, maybe she made her intentions clear, like, Destiny, I like you, I want to be in a relationship with you, but I will not be in a relationship with you. I will not even text with you until you are no longer in that relationship. What an adult thing to do.
Which I wasn't like blowing her phone up or anything, but I just thought it was weird that she just quit having contact with me. But she did have a boyfriend. So
Right, there you go. She did have a boyfriend at that time, so also makes sense.
maybe that was it. I don't know. We got new phones. We went from iPhone to Android, but Amberlynn still used the iPhone to vlog because she likes using iMovie. I don't understand iMovie to save my life. So we got Rarity Gray.
Man, R.I.P. Rarity. I knew this was coming. You know, obviously, this was around the time that they got Rarity and that she'd be coming up in conversation, but it's still tough. I bet it's tough for a lot of you because, you know, these pets, we end up caring about them probably more than Amber does, which is really a sad sentence to have to say, but, you know, we get to know them in these videos and really can't do much for them other than hope they're okay. And ultimately, Rarity isn't. In my heart, I like to believe that it was Mrs. Claus that was Rarity, and Rarity really did find another home, and she is okay, and actually maybe even better off because she's not with Amber anymore. But we'll probably never know 100% what happened to Rarity, and it doesn't really matter as far as Amber is concerned. She should never have cats. She shouldn't have pets. Sorry, pets.
Let's see. This is November. I think I said that, by the way. This is when we start to become really good friends with Sharla.
I mentioned Sharla already. Again, this is, in my opinion, Amber became friends with Sharla to use Sharla as a spy on Destiny.
I want to say Amberlynn still hangs out with her. I don't know. After me and Amberlynn broke up, I refused to be friends with Sharla. Sharla was a pot stirrer.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was. I mean, from what we saw on the vlogs, she was there truly to stir the pot, to be a spy, and to report back to Amberlynn.
Or a crap starter. Like, I mean, just too much drama with her.
Just an extension of Amber is what Sharla was. And of course, Amber didn't really even care about Sharla. Sharla was being used by Amber.
We had some friends from work move a couple apartments down from us. We had gotten to a big fight at some point. I don't know what we were arguing about, but then I think either my mom or my mammy called me about going over there because my mammy was going to my mom's and she was like, hey, we're going to cook. You guys should come over. And I was like, heck yeah. You know, like I was ready to go. I hadn't seen my mom in a little while. I was ready to go over there.
Oh no, is this the Code Red incident? I mean, y'all know that's why the Code Red hotline is called the Code Red hotline, right?
Code Red hotline, this is Dietz. What's going on?
I mean, I'm sure you do, but just in case, for those of you who may not have realized, that is why I called it that. It is because of this. And just side note here before we let Destiny tell the rest of the story, I was just thinking as she was talking, like, when was the last time Destiny said something nice or had a good memory to talk about with Amber? Has she even had something nice to say in this video? I guess buying her the TV was kind of nice, but ultimately was a bad memory because of what happened with it, right? Of Amber saying it was for Destiny and then keeping it for herself and refusing to give it to Destiny. So what was the last thing that Destiny said during this series that was a nice thing about Amber? It has been a minute. Damn.
And eat some good dinner and what have you. Well, Amberlynn didn't want to go, and I said, that's fine. You don't have to go. Because, I mean, like I said, all that drama from before with her and my mom, they were just tense. But she didn't want me to go. Yep. And I was like, okay, well, it's been a little while since I've been over there. Just, you know, I'm going to go over there. And she was just like throwing a big just fit. I don't know how else to describe it. She was crying. And I know it was a Code Red Mountain Dew.
There it is. It is the Code Red incident officially.
In my hand. She will swear to you that this didn't happen. I've talked to her about it before, and she swears it didn't happen. So I don't know why she thinks that, but why would I make this up?
Oh, no. She doesn't think it didn't happen. That's just her manipulation, right? She's claiming it didn't happen so that she doesn't need to say that it did, so that she doesn't need to be accountable for that kind of behavior, right? She'll never be accountable for anything that she does. We all know this. So one of her tactics to get out of accountability is by claiming something just didn't happen. That is gaslighting 101. You're the crazy one. What are you talking about? That never happened. Amber uses all the tactics. Sometimes she just plays dumb. She doesn't want to answer a question. She just goes, "What? What are you talking about?" You know, she doesn't have to answer the question when she does that. She claims it never happened. Or whatever tactic she wants to use, she has a nice little toolbox and she pulls out whatever she wants in that moment.
I would try to walk out of the house, and I know I had this Code Red Mountain Dew in my hand, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna go. So, and because we were already arguing, I was like, I don't want to be around you anyway right now. Like, we were arguing. I wanted to go see my mom. She starts screaming at me from the sliding glass doorway, saying that she's gonna harm herself.
Yet another type of abuse, by the way. Starts with the guilt trip and the yelling, turns to claiming self-harm, and then when none of that works, she turns to physical violence. This is all toxic behavior, all of it. I wish someone who is actually professional in like this type of language would just go through the Code Red incident and point out all the different things that Amber has done using like actual medical language.
If I leave and I don't know, just all this stuff, you know, just going nuts. And then I was like, no, you won't. You know, I said, that's not something to play around with. Just let me go see my mom. And she starts like coming at me, you know, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. So I get in my car and I leave the can on my top of my car, and I close the door real quick and I lock the door, and she's like telling me to get out, all this stuff. And
notice how the words that Destiny just said is she's telling me to get out, but what she's doing with her hands is mimicking banging on the door. She's hitting the door with her hand. So you really need to also just watch Destiny as she tells this story, because there is more to the story that she isn't actually describing with words. She's also describing it with her actions. It's a lot worse than just the words she uses.
She ends up throwing the can at my car, made me mad. And I want to say I ended up not going. I don't think I did. I'm like 98% sure I did not go to my mom's.
Yeah, and Amber was happy, right? She got her way because Destiny didn't go and have dinner with her family. Ugh. Just there's so much wrong with all of this. I hate it so much. I know that Amber got her way in the end, but I'm glad that Destiny can see it now for what it is, at least, and how wrong it was, including the threats of self-harm that were there, and was calling her out on those things now, because it's exactly the type of thing, like this story is why I think if Amber was more mobile than she is, I truly do believe that she would actually be, I think she would be more dangerous. I think she would do more of this, right? The running after people, the throwing things at them, slamming her hand, banging on doors. That is scary. That is very scary behavior. And the fact that Amber is not mobile really at all these days is keeping her in the seated position, right? It's keeping people around her a little bit more safe from her anger and her outbursts and the way that she uses her hands.
Ended up just going back inside and dealing with her. And then I don't know if that's the fight that might have caused it, but right after that we also got into an argument, and that's when she let me open a present, and it turned into opening all those presents.
There it is. And you know what? That scene, I'm sure I can find that scene, because it started out not with Amber telling anyone about the Code Red business and that fight. I think it started out with Amber just saying like, oh, we just got home and Destiny put on some music and we were dancing. And, I just said, hey, do you want to open a present? Like, she completely lied about the circumstances surrounding why that whole Christmas present opening session happened. I mean, as always, all she does is lie. Like, this right here is why I wanted to re-listen to this series. I feel like the Code Red incident and the Christmas presents and all of this kind of the end of their relationship, really people just need to remember how that all went down, because the way that Amber tells it is nothing like the reality that Destiny experienced.
I think someone asked if I still had any of the gifts that she got me. Wait, Carter, trying to get under a blanket. I said I didn't have any of the gifts. I didn't realize I still have a pair of the shoes. It was these shoes. These maroon ones. I still have those, and I still have the Pokemon jacket. But that's it. And then right after that, she also bought me the computer I have.
Love bombing. 100% textbook love bombing. Just all of these presents. The TV, saying she wanted to buy her car, although Destiny said no to the car. It was still part of the plan, right? The shoes, the laptop. She is trying to buy Destiny's love because she knows she's fucked up, right? She has fucked up this relationship, and it's the best one she's ever had, maybe even to this day. I don't know, Destiny still might be the one that got away, according to Amber, and she is desperate to keep her. Destiny is on her way out the door, like she is trying to get her come back in. It's not working. It's not going to work. But isn't it interesting to think that like Amber doesn't realize how obvious it all is?
Because they deserve them.
It's so clear what the actual reason is.
That's the computer that's very old. She shows Twinkie in the shower with me. Twinkie did that a lot. I don't understand why. I don't know. I've had a couple dogs that just like to be in the shower. Bo is one of them. Aren't you, Bo? He likes to get in the shower or try to get in the shower with you. Donald Trump was elected president. Went to P.F. Chang's for the first time. Maybe it wasn't the first time for me, but it was Sharla's first time. We went with Sharla and her sister. And when we got there and we're waiting, I want to say me and my brother got in a fight about something. I don't know. It ended with me crying and him being mad at me because I was in Lexington and I hadn't drove. Because Amberlynn offered to pay for Sharla because it was expensive. We were supposed to eat at Cheesecake Factory for one, but we went to P.F. Chang's instead because they were taking so long. But my brother was mad because he had came into town, and I was like, well, I'm in Lexington right now, and it was already late at night, and I was like, I just can't up and go right now. I didn't even drive myself, and I don't know, me and him got in a fight about it.
Who wants to bet that Amber was pissed off that they didn't end up eating at the Cheesecake Factory and she couldn't get her orange chicken and white rice? There's probably yet another fight, honestly.
That was when we started hanging out with Sharla, like, a lot. I know that at this point, Amberlynn had quit the job, and I know that my lunch and stuff was always with Sharla. I always spent lunch with Sharla, and it would be just me and her chilling.
Yeah, Sharla the spy reporting back to Amber.
And going and getting like KFC or whatever. And then we were also hanging out with the friends that moved a couple apartments down from us. You see us go to their house at one point. I had an uncle that passed at this point. Oh, you can see after this, I've started like hanging out at my mom's a lot and going over there a lot. And her saying that I just wasn't there and all this. And
yeah, because she didn't want to be around Amber, obviously. Once again, I mean, she still hasn't said anything nice about Amber since I mentioned it before.
I mean, I just wanted to see them. And after that big fight from before, I'm glad that she was letting me. Letting
me. That kind of language? Oof. Even Destiny kind of caught herself there, put her hand quotes up, said letting me. But in reality, that's kind of how it was, because it's like, whether she was physically being restrained from going or not, there's still the having to deal with the repercussions of going and Amber being super angry, and who knows what else she might do or say she would do if Destiny were to leave again. So yeah, letting is appropriate language when it comes to somebody like Amber. Doesn't make it okay. That's how she is.
I'm gonna say that sucked. We put up the Christmas tree that we got, and we went to my uncle's funeral. That's when you see me put a fancy shirt on and a bow tie. Then the laundromat that she shows that we're being filmed at, that's the one I went to with Dana and her mom. And it was the only 24-hour laundromat that was close to us. And it wasn't even like right next to our house. There was plenty right by our house, but none of them were 24 hours. And we liked doing the laundry after. There wasn't any that were 24 hours, and we like to do laundry after we got off work, and it would be 3:30 in the morning, so we needed one that was that late. Don't be messing with your brother.
Now, did you like to do your laundry after work, or did Amber make you do the laundry after work? Because remember, Amber isn't working at this point. She should be the one who's doing the laundry during the day. I don't care if she can't drive. She should be figuring that out. She should be calling a taxi. She should be doing something. But you know she's not. She's just sitting at home doing mukbangs and chatting with Sharla about what Destiny's up to and making Destiny call her every moment she has free.
Like I said, this was around the time Dana and I had become good friends. This is, I guess, the point towards the end of November she quit talking to me. And like I said, we didn't talk till after me and Amberlynn broke up. Besides like here and there at work, you can see us at Thanksgiving, at my mom's playing with Little Bear, and then we go Black Friday shopping. Now we're going into December, which is good because this video is getting long.
Agreed. I'm losing steam.
Things at this point really are starting to get super rocky with us.
I mean, I feel like they've been super rocky for a while here, but I guess that is the kind of language you're going to use when it takes a long time. This breakup should have happened a long time before it did, but I understand that's not really a judgment about Destiny. It's just how things go sometimes. You try to get out of these relationships with these volatile people, and you can literally be putting yourself in danger. It can be really hard to get out of a relationship where one of these people is toxic and manipulative. So yeah, don't take that as a judgment. It's just a fact. Like, it took a long time.
She starts Vlogmas, and I gave her gifts way before Christmas. I also started planning her. She thought it was going to be a Friendsmas. So just like a friends Christmas getting together Christmas party. But really, I was planning a surprise party for her. And we were arguing so bad about something. She was trying to say that I was being secretive and that I was keeping stuff from her and all this. And we were arguing, and I was like, fine, you want to know what I'm being secretive about? I was planning you a surprise birthday party, and now you know about it. I was going to do it when we have the Friendsmas thing, and you weren't going to know.
Yep, there goes Amber ruining a party once again, like she's done before. And yes, I did in fact go ahead and find the footage of this unsurprised birthday party, so we could have a look at it today and compare and contrast what Amber showed on her channel to what Destiny's saying in this video. So let's enjoy that for a minute, shall we?
So it's Sharla and my sister Jerissa, and we're actually supposed to be having a Friendsmas, which is what we're sort of kind of doing. But really, we're actually having a surprise birthday for Amberlynn. She's actually outside of the vehicle right now because I told her to get out so she don't see nothing. So here we go.
Happy birthday, Hanukkah! Happy birthday, Hanukkah!
Yeah, see, you're
What the? Oh, wait, it sings, don't it?
Fire hazard.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amberlynn. Happy birthday reusable? I don't know.
She says they're reusable.
I just think so. Like to it. Okay.
I didn't do a wish, but you know.
I know. Is the pizza guy gonna bring you a ring?
Would you like join me?
And the thing is, no matter how you feel about any of the people in this room, all of these people, they tried. They put in effort to celebrate Amber's birthday. And Amber ruined it. It made it not worth it for Destiny in the end to put all this effort into her birthday. And Destiny, I mean, she already had one foot out the door, and yet she was still doing this for Amber. Man, another thing that I'm thinking about as I watch this footage, when was the last time that we saw this many people surrounding Amber that wasn't her family? Destiny had actual friends, and Amber was basically borrowing them. Same with the Beck era and the gay care era, if you will. You know, all of the people in that era weren't really friends with Amber, but it made Amber think she had friends. But these days, there's no one. She is completely alone. She's managed to push every single person in her life, in her actual real life, away because nobody actually matters to her but her.
And she was like, oh my God, that's the sweetest thing, you know. And I was just like, well, you're not going to be surprised now. And she said, don't cancel it. You know, we'll still do it. I'll act surprised. And she shows the party and what have you. Sharla, it was me and Sharla and her sister that were trying to do all this together. So, let's see.
And once again, not a single happy memory of Amber. Even the ones that should have been happy are miserable.
This is around the time she started you-nowing a lot. We surprised my brother for his birthday. You see that in a video, me and him and his cake. It was actually not a cake, it was chocolate lasagna. I remember my mom made that, it was so good. Made a bunch of Christmas cookies, had a really great Christmas. My mom's birthday was on New Year's.
I'm glad that Destiny got to have all these nice times, you know, with her mom. I mean, in retrospect, it is nice to hear that they did spend all this time together. Even though Amber was trying to keep her from doing it, Destiny still managed to have these nice holidays and spend some time with her mom.
And then that's it. I can't really think of anything specific that happened in December besides, because her birthday's so late in the month too. And I haven't started 2017 yet. It just says January. So I'll get started on that and get to working on that for you guys. But I'm trying to think if there was anything that I need to wrap up as well in this video while I still have a little bit of time. Like I said, I know you guys keep asking like what they would argue about her and my mom, and like I said, it was just little spats here and there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just everything. Literally, like everything. They probably annoyed the crap out of each other no matter what they were doing.
I don't know what else to talk about right now. I don't remember anything else because I pretty much addressed a lot. And I told you guys this was the juicy part, and I promise you that January and February, and I think some of March, is juicy as well for 2017. And then there's a lot of stuff going on with me and Dana after that, and slowly starting to hang out with Amberlynn. So, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed this tea.
Oh, man. All right. Wait, what did she say? Something else?
Was a, like I said, spicy brew. All right.
All right. So that is the end of Spilling the Truths of 2016 Part 2. As Destiny just mentioned, there is another video after this. And really, that's kind of kicking off the actual breakup. I think it might actually even be called The Truth About the Breakup. I will have to take a look. Let's see here. Yes. The Truth of the Breakup is the next one in this series. And then there's another one called Clarity, and those are the last two from Destiny in this series. So probably going to be another few videos from me. Clarity is another 48 minutes. The Truth of the Breakup is 31 minutes. So we have a lot to get through, and these end up being way longer with my commentary, and I have been breaking them up, and I think that's been working. So we're going to keep doing that as it makes sense. I was able to get my hands on one of Amber's live streams where she came on and responded to some of this stuff. I haven't been able to locate all of them, unfortunately. Just with the whole deleting of, her videos and everything, it is definitely making things a bit more complicated trying to find some of these things. But I haven't given up looking entirely, but I do have at least one of those. So we can watch that together as part of this series. I will make sure that we take a look at that in chronological order. I'm not sure if it comes next or if The Truth of the Breakup by Destiny comes next. I'm going to have to take a look at the dates. So we'll see, but in any case, the series is not yet over. I do want to take a look at the comment section of this video that we just finished watching. So before we have our Corgi Cam palette cleanser, let's take a look at the comments on this video since we did finish it. And then, yes, Mini Waffles to the rescue. And then we'll wrap this up. All right, let's see what the viewers had to say. All right, so there are over 1,100 comments on this video. Of course, we are not going to be looking at all of those, but I think let's just do what we usually do and take a peek at some of them. This first one says,
Crazy how 7 years ago, someone was telling her she doesn't need to be home all day, and it's still a problem.
And that was 2 years ago, so yeah, it has been almost a decade since people have started telling her this, and here we are today. She's still on her couch, and she leaves her house even less. It's very sad, honestly, and I would feel bad for Amber if she wasn't who she is as a person, because it is a sad story if you step back from it and you don't take into account who she is.
Amber blocking the doorway and threatening to harm herself is abuse.
I don't actually know what that's called, medically, but I absolutely know that it is abuse. And of course, Amber would never agree. She would somehow Darvo that situation and say, you're the abuser for saying that that's abuse.
Victim Lynn being exposed as the abuser she is by all her exes is what she deserves.
Yeah, I am not going to sit here and disagree with that one. I do think that we can learn from Amber what toxicity looks like, but also we can warn other people to stay away from her.
The way she treated Destiny's and Beck's mothers shows exactly who she is.
It's not just the fact that it's her partner's moms, but one of them literally was putting a roof over her head. She was living in Destiny's mom's house, and she still treated her with so much disrespect that they were hitting each other. And who knows what else she ruined in their houses, right? Did she break a bed like she did at Crystal's house? She definitely was breaking Destiny's car. So she just ruins things left and right. And you best believe she's not paying them any money for that.
Seeing physical violence between your mother and romantic partner must be insane. I'm sorry that happened.
And Destiny going into how traumatic that was for her and the lasting trauma that's had. I really can't imagine. I really can't. It's terrible.
A lot of what Destiny says here aligns with the behavior that Casey described, and even some that Beck mentioned post-breakup. What a darling girl ALR is. I hate that she had a crappy childhood. That probably contributed to her dysfunction today. But Destiny is right, and a lot of other people are right. Probably ALR's own therapist already mentioned it to her.
That's assuming there is a therapist. I think that's giving her a little bit too much credit, but
you can't let the past keep holding you back.
I have said several times here on my channel that I don't think that Amber is lying about every single thing, right? I do believe that she had a really tough childhood, but she does need to work through the trauma and the pain it caused her and stop using it as an excuse to treat everyone else poorly. It may have gotten her out of things and out of accountability for her actions when she was a teenager, but she is in her mid-30s now. She is a grown-ass adult, and she does absolutely need to move on from the past and find herself a little bit more happiness in the future, or else, well, I don't really even want to finish that sentence, to be honest.
3 ex-partners have come out and said, both directly and indirectly, that Pookie Lynn was abusive, not only towards them, but to their mothers as well. Wow. What a shining example of a good person with a good heart.
That is exactly how Amber sees herself, isn't it, right? She just thinks she is the best. She is so kind, and she is giving, and she's happy. She says she's all the things that she's not.
Destiny's mom was right. Sitting around at home on YouTube has hampered her weight loss to a ridiculous degree.
Yeah, I don't think it's all YouTube's fault. I mean, it's Amber. Amber making the decision to do so, and Amber probably not actually caring enough about her own health. There are a lot of levels of issues with Amber Reid. There's got to be more than just YouTube to have created the person that she is today.
I'd be so uncomfortable not knowing what she was posting and saying, and finding out years later about the lies, and the awkward things she put online.
Yeah. I think Destiny at one point said she did realize that, Amber was pointing a camera at her, but that she actually did not realize that she was posting it to YouTube. She didn't have any idea that the things like the butt crack and no shirt on and all that was actually making it into her videos. Awkward is not even the right word to use.
I know Amber is a narcissist, but wow, you really went through a lot. She's mean, abusive, deceptive, and demonic. Thankfully, you got away from that train wreck.
Destiny is not perfect, right? There are things about her, especially when it comes to her handling of animals, that I'm not okay with. But that doesn't take away from the fact that she did suffer a lot from Amber and how she was treated by Amber. So I am also thankful that Destiny got away from Amber, and I do hope the best, honestly, for everybody. I don't hope harm on these people. I just wish it didn't happen. I don't know. I do think it is the best way to learn about people is to study them like this. And that is the ultimate goal around here, right? Is to be able to spot this in our real lives. Is to be able to see what happened with Amber and what happened with Destiny and Beck and Casey. And if something like that were to happen in our own lives, we'd see it for what it is and be able to get away from it before it's too late, before it gets too bad.
I can't imagine how controlling Amber must have been with Beck when their mom was in cancer treatment.
I think we can actually imagine that now, a couple of years later, now that Beck has also come back and talked to us a bit about that. It's the same story over and over again. Amber's got to get her way. Amber's got to be in control. Amber's got to be the center of attention. If she's not, she's going to throw her tantrums. She is going to do whatever she can, no matter what gets in her way, in order to get her way.
Thank you for breaking her YouTube monopoly and giving us your side. It feels cathartic as a viewer, so I can only imagine how it is for you.
Yeah, and I kind of mentioned that earlier as well, right? I do hope that this was cathartic for Destiny. She went through a lot. It was obviously very traumatizing, had lasting effects on her life. And if this was a way for her to release some of that, I'm glad that she was able to do it. Truly.
For fuck's sake, Amber's more toxic than I even realized.
Yeah, and that's it. That is the heart of it all of Girl World, isn't it? Amber, she used to, before this whole Lol Bus era, she used to present herself one way. And the more you watched her, the more you got to know her, the more you realized that the way she presented herself was not actually congruent with the way that she is and who she is as a person. And the more you understood that, the angrier you get. Hence, reaction channels. Hence, Hater Nation. And man, I feel like I could talk about just this, for probably an hour or longer, because it's pretty complex. Present day, Keemstar era, well, that's kind of a different story. She's presenting a whole new person who has been there all along, right? It's not a fake person necessarily. It's one part scripted and one part exactly who Amber is. She's playing the role she's meant to play herself. It's kind of weird if you really think about it, being both scripted to be bad, but not having to act to be that person and that character. Anyway, as I said, I could talk about this for so long, and this video is already pretty dang long. So I'm going to zip it on that just for now. Maybe I'll rant about it in another video. I think for now we're going to wrap things up. I will take a look and see which video comes next chronologically. I think right now I definitely need Mini Waffles to help me with my mood. So I'm going to let her take us on a walk. And then after that, we'll wrap this up real quick. Destiny didn't have one nice memory with Amber to share with us in this entire video. Unless I'm missing something. I could have forgotten something. I don't know. It was pretty much just anxiety, frustration, and manipulation as we head into Destiny's final recap video titled The Truth of the Breakup. Now that video, of course, I mean, it's not the end of the story. Really, I don't know. I might even consider it just the beginning of more drama with Amber. Because after the next one, the live streams begin. Destiny had some. Amber got online and responded, because of course she did. If I counted correctly, I don't know, I think there was something like 10 more videos over the following months between the two of them. Girl World was fed. But before all that, there is one more video for us to get through, so we're going to take a look at that in the next video of this series. Also, just a side note, if anyone is looking to watch something a lot less toxic and, I don't know, just add some laughter to your day, I started a series just for that. It's called the Oh Hell Yeah Retro React series.
Oh hell yeah.
I just sit down and watch some of Jenna Marble's videos that she's left up on her channel for us to enjoy. It's not about pointing out anything toxic. The point is really just to laugh so much that my face hurts.
The best thing to do today is to just make the world a little bit less serious. What do you say?
I decided I need to add some more of that into my life these days, and who knows, there might be a few of you who would like to join in on the fun. I'll leave a few videos on screen if you want to keep watching my channel, and otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
You gotta peel
You're not even showing me. Like, you need to learn how to vlog.
I showed you the whole time.
No, you can't even see my face.
Yes, you can.